This is my 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance, and my name is John with Blackbird Productions. And today we're talking about the real cost of buying a new 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance and what to look out for when you're buying a Tesla or EV in general. My goal is that you'll have some insight into depreciation for this car specifically, and perhaps other EVs, and you'll have insight into the taxes, which Tesla seems to hide in their promotional material for some reason. And at the end of this video, I'll give you my thoughts on which option would be best for buying this car. But first, super quick, before we get into that, I'm super close to 2,000 subscribers, and I need your help to make it there. I'm about 30 subscribers away, so I doubt we'll get 30 subscribers on this video. But if you enjoy my filming style, especially if you like my reviews, definitely consider subscribing, and you can click the subscribe button below. I appreciate it in advance. So let's talk about depreciation. And I have my notes here. Let me actually grab my phone off here real quick. All right, so I did some pretty extensive research as far as just depreciation in general, not on this car, but other EVs as well. And I know the past couple of years have been interesting for buying anything. Cars, houses, any type of real estate, stock, whatever. But what I did was I actually narrowed my search from 2023 to 2024 because it's been roughly about a year. I mean, we're in December, so it's been about a year. And what I found was actually pretty shocking. So what I did was I actually went on cars.com, and I'm actually going to put like a little video up here so you could see like what I was looking through. But from 2023 to 2024, the Model 3 Performance specifically, based on my research, lost roughly about 40% of its value up to this point in 2024. Well, we'll just say through 2023 to 2024. And based on what I saw just in terms of listings available currently, I've seen some range between the low to $30,000 range. And that's roughly with 20,000 miles. Now, why did I choose 20,000 miles in my filter when I was filtering through cars.com? Well, when you lease a Tesla, currently the terms are 24 months and I want to say 36 months, something like that. That might change in the future, but for now, as of December, 18th, 2024, it's 24 months and 36 months. It also allows you to dial in just the overall miles that you think are going to be put on the car within that period of time. So for my purposes, I did 10,000, but usually I would do 12,000 just to be safe, because that's roughly around like what I put on all my cars. Just historically speaking, but that might be different for you. But I just put it to 10,000 just because I know some people are on a budget, so you obviously want to get a lower monthly payment while you're leasing the car. So to do that, you'd obviously want to do 10,000 miles and probably 36 months, but I wouldn't even do 36 months, and I'm about to tell you why. So in my search, and again, I'll put some footage up here so you could actually see what I'm talking about. Between 2023 and 2024, with cars that have 20,000 miles, some have like 24, 25,000, so it's pretty close. I found that a lot of them are now selling within the low to mid $30,000 range. I'll say that the car originally, just based on my research, I actually went on Car and Driver. You might be familiar with their YouTube channel. They actually have like a website where they post like news articles and stuff like that. And they actually review the cars on their website, and they show like all kinds of different stats and stuff. But I'll leave a link to the cited source that I'm getting this from in the description so you can see it for yourself. But around that time, when they reviewed the 2023 Tesla Model 3 Performance, it was around 54,000. And right now, as of today, well, not necessarily as of today, but in June, when I bought mine, it was around 55,000. So it's really close. And I want to say now it's like 57,000 or something like that. So it's actually gone up a bit. So essentially what I did was I just took that 55 or 54,000 and I just subtracted it by what's currently on the market today. And that's how I came up with roughly 40% depreciation. And that's within the first year. Now, again, the 2020s have been very, very weird It's been a very weird time for the 2020s, and I'll say anywhere prior to 2023 was just like a crapshoot for just all markets in general, just because people were buying, demand was going up, and supply and demand was just all over the place, you know. So a lot of these car values at that time were inflated, with the exception of 2023. I feel like not all cars were inflated. It was actually starting to come down around the beginning of the year of 2023. But 2022, for sure, everything was inflated. And I remember when I sold my house around that time, I think it was like 2021, 2022, there was actually a bidding war on my house. And we were getting people left and right doing offers and stuff like that. So it was a crazy time. But anyway, depreciation is something that I would for sure look out for when you're buying an EV. I'd say if you want to buy an EV in general, let's just say Tesla, because just because I mean, I own a Tesla, so I kind of have some experience there. If you want to own this car, you would want to keep it for more than, let's just say, 2 years, just because you're just going to lose a ton of value if you just outright sell it. Maybe you could translate the value into like, oh, I got the 20,000 miles out of it. It did me well. It was reliable, stuff like that. But I feel like in terms of just like a investment, being a car to get you from point A to point B, you should consider keeping it for longer than that, especially if nothing is wrong with it. So that's sort of my thoughts around just depreciation in general for these types of cars. And I find that EVs depreciate much quicker just because of obvious reasons, just battery concerns and quality concerns and stuff like that. All right, the next thing is taxes. And I'm just going to keep this super brief because I actually covered it in my last video. And if you haven't seen that one, you can check it out in a card somewhere above here. But anyway, taxes, for whatever reason, Tesla like hides that just like in their marketing material. Like they'll show on the front page that like, oh, you can get in this car for like $399 a month with a lease term, but they don't actually include taxes by default or extra fees, which do occur when you're taking delivery of a car, for example. So I'll show something here, but you could see where you can like tick the box to include taxes and stuff, and that'll give you like a more accurate estimate as you're putting together a budget to buy this car. So overall, I'd say my advice is still lease the car. I still think Tesla offers a really nice lease deal, especially right now. I think that although you're technically paying for depreciation up front, if you don't know, that is essentially what leasing is. They're basically just, you know, having you pay depreciation up front. And I did a calculation of this back when I was actually like searching for Teslas and actually researching for this video. And I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I essentially took the monthly payments and then spread them out over the 24 months or whatever it was. And I came up with $35,000. And that ended up being the actual value of the car after the lease term was over, which was pretty shocking to me. I actually thought for sure my numbers were off, and maybe they are. But the fact of the matter is, from 2023 to 2024, this car lost roughly about 40% of its value. So it's not too far off based on the research that I did for this video. So yeah, I think leasing is still the best option for this car, especially since you could actually buy out the lease, which I'm pretty sure Tesla didn't offer that before. Yes, you're paying depreciation up front, but the way I see it is you're basically owning a car for 2 years for about half of its value. And you also have the option of purchasing that car at the end of the lease or just returning it for a brand new one. So I do like the fact that Tesla does give you that flexibility. So that is the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna actually take a guess and say that this one's actually gonna be a much shorter video than my previous videos. But hey, if you thought the information was helpful, if you thought my insight was helpful, definitely feel free to leave a like. And also consider subscribing. Like I said in the beginning, I make videos like these every week, and I also make car reviews every month. This month, however, I'm actually not making a car review just because all of the cars that I had on my list, essentially, it seems like everyone's either out of town or just not responding or whatever the case is. So right now I just kind of boiled it down to just holidays, people just spending time with their families and stuff like that, which I think is pretty important. So for this month, I'm not going to have a car review, but next month I will return with a brand new car review. And I have a lot of exciting ideas and things written down in my notes that I want to cover next year. I think next year is going to be a really exciting year for the channel, and I definitely want you to be part of that. So consider subscribing. This has been John with Blackbird Productions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.